Nobody is talking about the Washington Commanders right now, and that might be the most dangerous sign in the entire NFL, because Jayden Daniels is healthy, locked in, and looking awesome.
London?
I can't confirm this. Jayden Daniels is looking awesome. He's healthier. Obviously, dealt with some injuries last season, but he looks phenomenal. Looks in great physical shape, but also in a great mental space. There's going to be a new offense that the Commanders will have this year. David Blah, he's the first-year offensive coordinator. Be a lot more under center for Jayden in this offense. A lot more play action. Use his athleticism. Be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively out of from under center, and those should open up things in the passing game from Jayden. But he definitely looks phenomenal. Has a great command of his offense, even though it's early in training camp. And I'm looking forward to seeing him just continue to get better each day as this season progresses.
Well, I mean, the question is.
Yeah, I just think it speaks to the competitor of who he is. I love what he's added to our team. I love seeing him and Mike battle for it, but he is a legit dog-ass competitor. I love that he brings that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I get paid to play football. So I'm a football player. My job is to go out there and play football. So if I'm asked to go play football, I'm going to go out there and play football. So I think, it's valuable reps, whether it's preseason practice. You're always just learning from each and everything. So it's very valuable.
The mindset is locked in, but it's what's around Jayden that should scare every defense in the NFL.
This season, we drafted a kid named Antonio Williams, a rookie out of Clemson, in the third round. He's a shifty guy. Maybe he'll play like a Amon-Ra St. Brown type of role. He'll be more of a slot receiver. He's been unguardable in training camp so far. And then you got some guys, Trey Burks, who was a former first-round draft, as advertised.
Okay. Yeah, for real?
Yes. Real? Yes. And I know you're a Michigan guy. You saw a lot of him at Ohio State. But
I'm very happy to see him in burgundy and out of scarlet, sir.
Yeah. I mean, 6'5". There was a play. Damn. He filled a hole right away. First play, 11-on-11, just coming downhill. The athleticism is there, the size, the mental makeup. I actually played with Sonny's dad, Lorenzo Styles.
Yes, you did it.
In
Rams,
St. Louis.
Right?
With the Rams. I was his rookie. And so he comes from great football pedigree. His brother obviously also got drafted. Lorenzo Styles Jr. got drafted to, I think it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or maybe it was the Saints. I can't remember. But with Sonny, he's scratching the surface because he's only been playing the linebacker position for 2 years, but he's very mature, extremely cerebral player. We know about the athleticism and just the things that he's going to be able to do in this new Durante Jones defense. I mean, you can line him up outside, you can rush off the edge, you can bring him up the middle, have him play in the passing game. There's so many things that you can do with a guy like Sonny that the sky's the limit. I can't wait to see him just untap all that potential that he has.
Well, he's only 1,380.
Like, he's throwing an excellent camp. And so I've been pleased with what I've seen from him. It's important to get these looks, but.
Yeah, so, it's at that point they're driving, and Steve McNair, he was just hurting us so much with his ability
He was unreal that game, London.
Yeah, unreal. And so the call that we made, it was one of our, base kind of defensive nickel plays, sub plays, where kind of like a day one, day two type of defensive play, where I was man-to-man. We had man-to-man, but also combinations with the between the safeties, linebackers, corners, things like that. And I had Eddie George man-to-man. He flares out to the flat, and I'm kind of looking at him, but I'm also worried about Steve tucking in and running because of the defense. There wasn't going to be anybody in the middle of the field. Mike Jones had the tight end man-to-man. I had the running back man-to-man. And, so if he decided to run with that football, there was a good chance that he may have scored based on the defensive call. But, Mike and the safeties and the corners, they made a great combination call. And when they threw that ball to Dyson, Mike came off just as he was coached to do and made a form tackle and and allowed us to win that football game. From my angle, though, I couldn't tell whether Dyson had scored or not, and it wasn't until my teammates ran on the field, and then the confetti came down, and I realized we had won the Super Bowl. But it was just, man, just a fun.
Nobody is talking about the Washington Commanders right now. And in the NFL, that is exactly when you need to pay the closest attention. Every summer, the national conversation circles the same franchises. The teams that spent big in free agency, the teams with new head coaches, the teams with drama. And while all of that noise fills the airwaves, something quiet is happening in Washington. Something that the people closest to this team can no longer keep to themselves. London Fletcher played linebacker in the NFL for 16 years. He was on the field for one of the greatest finishes in Super Bowl history. He knows what a championship-ready football team looks and feels like from the inside. And London Fletcher watched Jayden Daniels at training camp and said the same thing out loud. He is looking awesome. Not decent. Not improved. Not showing flashes. Awesome. That is the word London Fletcher chose. And when a man with that football pedigree chooses that word, you listen. Here is what is actually happening with the Washington Commanders heading into this season. Jayden Daniels is entering year 3. The injuries that interrupted his second season are behind him. He is healthier. He is sharper. And he is operating inside a brand new offensive system under first-year coordinator David Blau, a scheme built specifically around Jayden's strengths. More plays under center. More play action. More designed runs to open up the passing game. Blau built this offense to put Jayden Daniels in the best possible position to do what he does naturally. And by every account from everyone inside that building, it is working. Dan Quinn sees it every single day. And when the head coach of the Washington Commanders was asked about his quarterback, he did not reach for polished language. He said what he actually thinks. He called Jayden Daniels a legit competitor, the kind of competitor that elevates every person around him. The kind of competitor coaches build entire programs around. The kind of competitor who, when he steps into year 3 with a new offense and a healthy body, becomes somebody the rest of the NFL genuinely has to prepare for. And Jayden himself, he is not complicated about it. He is not political. He is not managing expectations. He said what he is, a football player. When asked to play football, he goes out and plays football. That simplicity is not a lack of ambition. That is the mindset of a quarterback who has stopped worrying about noise and started worrying only about performance. Now, look at what is around him. Terry McLaurin, one of the most reliable wide receivers in the NFC, is coming off a season disrupted by contract disputes and injury. Both are resolved. He came into camp in the best shape of his recent memory. Rejuvenated by a clean offseason. Energized by the new system. And ready to remind this league exactly what he is capable of. And then there is the rookie. Antonio Williams came out of Clemson in the 3rd round. He is a shifty, precise, quick twitch receiver. The kind of player you line up in the slot and watch cause problems for defenses that have no answer for him. London Fletcher described him as a player in the mold of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then he said the word that every offense wants to hear about a new weapon before the regular season starts. Unguardable. In training camp, Antonio Williams has been unguardable. That is not hype. That is an assessment from someone who spent 16 years studying how NFL offenses work. And then there is the defense. Sonny Styles arrived in Washington with the kind of pedigree that makes scouts write in capital letters. 6 feet, 5 inches. Lorenzo Styles was his father, a linebacker who played alongside London Fletcher in St. 2. Louis, his brother, was drafted this same year. Football is in his bloodline. But what has impressed the people watching him is not just the athleticism or the size. It is the football IQ. For a player who has been at the linebacker position for only 2 years, Styles processes the game like a veteran. He fills holes. He rushes off the edge. He covers in the passing game. The sky, as London Fletcher said, is the limit. And when London Fletcher says the sky is the limit for a linebacker, that carries weight. This defense has already produced 5 takeaways in the preseason. 5. The mindset Dan Quinn has built in that building is a turnover mindset, aggressive, attacking, relentless, The secondary is communicating at a higher level. The pass rush is taking steps forward. And Sonny Styles is about to give this defense a chess piece that opposing offenses have no answer for. London Fletcher stood on the field the night of Super Bowl 20 XI and did not know the result until the confetti fell. That is what a championship moment feels like from the inside. It arrives before you can fully process it. One moment, you are in the fog of competition, watching the final play. And then suddenly, the confetti. The crowd. The realization the Washington Commanders are not there yet, but the pieces are assembling. The quarterback is healthy and locked in. The coach is building a culture. The weapons are emerging. And the rest of the NFL is not paying attention. That might be the most dangerous combination in football.
Thank you for watching Sport Current. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video to support the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss the latest NFL and WNBA news, breaking stories, game updates, trades, and the biggest moments in American sports. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you in the next video right here on Sport Current.